You ever just play a game? No, scratch that. That's a dumb question. You ever stop playing a game? No, that's also dumb. Oh, I've got it. Has there ever been a game that's demanded literally all of your time? I'm going to go ahead and answer that for you. It wasn't really a question. Yes, you have. Because if you've played Halo, if you've played Call of Duty, you've played Gears of War, etc., chances are, if you're here to watch my Halo content, you've played a game like this. There was a time when you could play a game for a couple of hours, and then you could put it down and go about your life. Nowadays, the situation's a little bit more like, oh, but wait, you don't have insert microtransaction purchasable item that can also be purchased through tedious gameplay grinding here? Damn, dude, we can't really play together if you don't have good gear. Nowadays with video games, publishers put features into their games to essentially time gate things away from you and force you to grind to unlock what you want. There's a delicate balance that these publishers do, which is essentially a brain hack. They attempt to keep you roped into the content with good looter gameplay that is just passable enough for you to be willing to grind, but not without the temptation of that little shiny shortcut that's just potentially a few bucks away. Fortunately, this was much worse a couple of years ago, with loot boxes being the industry standard. This model it works. I don't know what to tell you. I hate that it does. But you throw a bright, shiny battle pass at someone, me included, and you dangle that little free currency reward for, buying something. I'm looking at you, Fortnite. Yeah, it's great that you give people free V-Bucks for purchasing the battle pass, but it's not exactly free if you're paying for the battle pass. Not to mention your subliminal concept of rewarding in-game currency as something that makes the battle pass more valuable is nonsense. Because God forbid I stop playing Fortnite like I did 2 years ago. Now I've got more money than Billy's mom gives him for an allowance. And I don't intend on using it because this game is a black hole of time and space. And if you really think about it, the black hole event was a metaphor for all the internet getting sucked into this game and losing all of their money and never getting it back. Meanwhile, time's just ticking away, and last you remembered it was Christmas and you got that Game Boy Advance SP from your mom. And yes, it did come with Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. But of course mom tells you to go do the laundry, and so you set your Game Boy down to go do that, and your uncle steps on your Game Boy. And just as quickly as you got it, you've lost it forever, and nothing will ever fill that void in your heart, and you're now 25 years old typing into a keyboard praying that everyone hasn't stopped watching because you've already lived a quarter of a century and the rest of time will just keep passing by and passing. Battle passes are a waste of money. Stop buying them. But also, I keep doing it. Help me. I have this little theory ticking around in my head about Halo Infinite that I really just can't scratch. I think Microsoft wants Halo Infinite to be the World of Warcraft of Halo. Now this could be a good or a bad thing. I say this because I think that World of Warcraft does do a lot of really cool things, but almost equally, it does a lot of bad things. I could list all of those things, but I'm just not going to. What I will say is this. World of Warcraft has to be the most successful game I've played before at demanding my time. I don't have a say in the matter. I simply can't play the game with my friends if I'm not keeping current with all the content. There's always some new goal posting feature that brings you that small level of satisfaction at seeing that, yes, in fact, you are stronger than you were before. See that number? See how it's higher than it was? Hell yeah. There's just something in the human brain that identifies so strongly with that easy feeling of improvement. Even if it's something that's mind-numbingly easy to do, why do you think battle passes are so effective? They typically take hardly any effort if you're consistently playing the game anyway, so seeing that bar progressing to the right is all the more incentive. The thing is, I'm confident that this is something that 343 wants to do with Halo Infinite. The main reason is because of their past. A couple of the first-party games that Microsoft has released during this 8th generation of consoles have featured this sort of mechanic. Whether it's the pay-to-win elements of Warzone and Halo 5, or whatever the hell is going on with Gears of War 5 to make my brother so upset, it's clear. Given xCloud and Game Pass, Microsoft is moving forward to games as a service because their newfound model works to directly supplement that. And it's a lot easier to justify paying for microtransactions in a game that's featured on the Game Pass, seeing as how it's just a monthly subscription fee. Shortly after kind of getting addicted to Halo 5, the content drops began happening where 343 would introduce new cosmetics and wrecks to Warzone. This is when it became clear that Halo was going into the direction of that games-as-a-service model. Until Halo 5's development really winded down, we never really got an end to the cosmetics. We were just kind of expected to either grind away at the game or simply purchase microtransactions until we got all of the cosmetics. Cosmetics that were, of course, free in all previous entries of the series. I'm sure they'd hoped it would work then, and learned a lot about consumer backlash to that sort of model. They'll probably have a much better time this time around getting people to continue to play and pay for Halo Infinite. This video is just a smidge more doom and gloom to my usual stick, but just understand that everything pertaining to Halo Infinite just can't all be good. You can't sustain a 10-year cycle on initial purchases, and certainly not just on Game Pass subscription. I've talked in a vague sense about all of this, but I haven't really put anything together. Well, here's how I imagine it'll look in execution. I don't believe any of this is guaranteed to be what Infinite will be, but some of this could be in the realm of possibility. I foresee Halo Infinite having a completely open-worlded, or at the very least open-ended multiplayer experience. This would involve RPG-esque enemies, much in the vein of Destiny's world bosses and such. It would feature tons and tons of cosmetics that you can unlock through progression, as well as some separate cosmetics unlockable with a premium currency that you can either only buy or earn at a very low rate. I see Halo Infinite featuring customization on an even deeper level to give your character that much more flair to work on, such as custom vehicle skins, custom gloves, the usual armor customization, custom weapon trinkets and such, perhaps a personal play space for you to invite people into. Now you may be asking yourself, why didn't you just say that Halo is trying to be Destiny? Well, here's the thing. If Halo Infinite succeeds and is a huge title with a massive population of players that return for expansions of content and such, it will have succeeded where Destiny didn't really. Whereas Destiny 1 and 2 were mired with bad publicity for lack of content and general depth, if Halo Infinite fills that gap, we'll finally have an answer to what a console version of World of Warcraft might look like. The truth is, the game industry has been trying to make the World of Warcraft of console games for almost a decade and has failed almost every time. The only difference now is the fact that the industry as a whole has more or less caught up to the ideas and time-consuming concepts that World of Warcraft pioneered over a decade and a half ago. So that descent into chaos is over. I hope you guys like this. I'm always trying to mix things up and do things a bit differently, so I'm hoping that this scratches that itch in a different and hopefully better way. Time for the usual business. Guys, you've got to come check out the Discord. We're having a ton of fun there at all times. We have a new community day that we're always celebrating where we get together and play video games, not even necessarily just Halo. We do that every Saturday. We've got loads of active people that always want to play stuff, so it'd be cool if you popped by. Guys, if you want to support me directly, I do have a Patreon available with super cheap tiers. The first one's $1, the next one's a $5 tier, and the last one's $10. I'm not telling you to do it, I just appreciate any support you guys give, no matter what form that it's in. Now to read off the patrons, the people who do actually support me directly on Patreon. First, we've got Crypts and Cantrips at the $15 a month. We've got Nuck and Futz at the $197 a month. We've got Sovereign at the $10 a month. David Tees at $10 a month, Ryan McCann at $15 a month, Ghost Warrior at $5 a month, Screamy at $15 a month, Reclaimer at $5 a month, Rye at $12 a month, and Anthony Berry also at $5 a month. Guys, you're amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We got some crazy stuff planned, and so now that the descent of chaos is over, I hope you guys liked this. I'm always trying to mix things up and do things a bit differently, so I'm hoping that this scratches... Fuck that sucks.